One of the other sounds we have a go at is the sound of the returning boomerang. The returning boomerang wasn't a real big thing this far north, more Tennant Creek, Central Australia, Southern Australia, the returning boomerang. It was used for a purpose, to scare some of the animals out of the long grasses and the small bushes and things. They'd throw the returning boomerang around and it'd make a bit of a foreign type of sound. And it might be enough to scare the turkey out of the bushes, or the goanna, kangaroo or something might be in there type thing. And then they'd actually have a killer boomerang that actually goes end on end and kill the animal. The returning boomerang basically lays down reasonably flat, but the killer boomerang goes on its edge. And obviously they have their woomera and the spear hooked on their woomera also to get their hunting. So the returning boomerang wasn't just a toy or whatever, if you know what I mean. A bit of fun. Obviously, no doubt they probably did have a bit of fun with it, but it was a part of their hunting technique. But to make the sound of the returning boomerang, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be making a little whirring sort of a sound as I'm vibrating my lips. Some of these sounds are a bit difficult to do without the didgeridoo on my mouth, but pressing a little bit extra area, making a little swishing sort of a noise. You're supposed to catch it. One of the other sounds I have a go at is the sound of the brolga. Getting a little bit more difficult to do the sounds, but the brolga is a tall grey bird. You may be lucky enough to see a brolga out in the wetland areas through the top end here, through the billabongs and those types of areas. The brolga is quite an interesting part of the Aboriginal culture. They do a lot of when they do their performances, their corroborees, which are getting sadly rarer and rarer for the public to see. Yeah, they do have a lot of singing, storytelling, dancing, imitating the brolga. The brolga does quite a nice, interesting, the male brolga especially, does a really interesting dance out there on the floodplains. And the singing, the sound also, when he's attracting his lady friend and anticipating he wants to get a little bit friendly with her or something, so he's putting on a bit of a performance. But it's quite an interesting when you get the chance, if you do get a chance to see that, it's pretty special. And yeah, it's really interesting watching the Aboriginal people mimic or imitate the brolga. They do a fantastic job of it also. But to make the sound into the didgeridoo, the brolga sound, I'm actually going to be rolling my tongue, getting a bit difficult, and making a little call from the throat at the same time. And obviously the didgeridoo sound by vibrating my lips. One of the other sounds I have a go to the sound of the kookaburra calling out. Within Australia, there is two varieties of kookaburras. We have, and this is a true thing, a southern kookaburra and a northern kookaburra. The southern one is definitely more blue. A lot of our visitors from interstate sometimes do have a bit of trouble recognising our northern kookaburra. You can recognise him with his beak and the shape of the bird itself, that is a species of kookaburra. But people do ask the question quite often, what type of bird is that? And you say it's a kookaburra, and I was thinking it was. But yeah, my father's always taught me over the many years of all our life living up here, us kids, he believes the difference in the sound, because the sound of the northern kookaburra and southern kookaburra is quite different also. The southern kookaburra definitely fires up a lot better, lasts a lot more than what the northern kookaburra does. But my father's always taught us, as we've been raised out there on the National Park, Catherine Gorge there, he said that the reason he believes for the difference in the sound of the northern and the southern kookaburra is there's not as much to laugh about in northern Australia. Not too sure if that is the reason, but that's what he's always taught us kids as we're growing up. So I'm going to imitate the northern kookaburra, so if he sounds a bit average, that's my excuse. So I'll be basically sort of going into the didgeridoo as I'm vibrating my lips. It's probably the most difficult one to have a go at. But the last one I have a bit of a go at, and it's getting quite modern. The Aboriginal people use a little bit of vocals in the didgeridoo playing, but generally their lips vibrating, maybe the tongue moving around a little bit inside the mouth, create a bit of a different airflow coming out through the lips. A little bit of vocals, especially with the broga, definitely. But I'm actually saying the word didgeridoo as I'm vibrating my lips. Doesn't sound that impressive there, but it sounds a lot better when I do it through the didgeridoo. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. I actually do some kangaroo hopping first. I actually say do do didgeridoo, do do didgeridoo. Is what I'm going to be actually saying into the didgeridoo as I'm vibrating my lips. Sometimes I just scream the word didgeridoo in there. Let's go. And with the circular breathing, the continually playing of the didgeridoo, which I don't like generally talking about because I've been playing the didgeridoo for 34 years or whatever it is now, and I've taught many people to circular breathe. My son is a very, very good circular breather and gone on to bigger things. I'm actually still struggling with my circular breathing. I can do it, but I definitely aren't. So yeah, I ain't going too good at it. But basically, if you watch a really good didgeridoo player out there, you'll see their cheeks doing quite a lot of work. They're using their cheeks very similar to a bagpipe type situation, because it's physically impossible to blow out through your lips and breathe in through your nose at the same time. So what they're doing when they know they're going to be needing a bit more air, they're actually getting a little bit of air in their cheeks and squeezing with their cheeks, squeezing a little bit of air out. As they're squeezing a little bit of air out, they're breathing some air in through the nose. You can squeeze out and breathe in at the same time, but you can't blow out and breathe in at the same time. When you first have a bit of a go, if anybody does have a bit of a go at their circular breathing idea, you probably are going to make a bit of a squeezing sort of a sound as you're first having a go.